I'm just waiting until the season's over to get a new phone. So for now, it's just gonna have to be the getaway, um, with the cell phone and the terrible angles and whatnot. I can't afford one right now, anyways. Because I work, I have a job, but my real passion is, besides my family, is coaching volleyball. But I only coach high school volleyball. And this last weekend, I haven't participated. I haven't put my team into a tournament with a lot of high-level D1, D2 teams in Southern California. And one team came down from Northern California too, but I haven't put my team in a tournament like that since I want to say 2016. And the reason why is because our program has never gone that far in Division One. The one time that we did win the CIF tournament and we got a banner from 1998, we were in Division 2 then, and the makeup of that team was very tall, very athletic, very experienced, and at that point Division 2 was still a good fit. And for our school which in a small town which doesn't have a very consistent competitive boys club program, it's just not something that I think is going to happen in my lifetime. So in 2017 and on, I started, because the way that they rank you for the divisions of CIF is about who you play in the regular season, whom you schedule, and how you do in years previous. And so before 2017, the Channel League, which is Dos Pueblos, San Marcos, Santa Barbara, Buenaventura, we would always, most teams, maybe San Marcos or ourselves or Santa Barbara, would get past round one, maybe two, but I'm not sure we ever made it past the third round in Division One. We would do pretty poorly in Division One for a couple seasons, accumulate a low amount of points. CIF would regroup, and then we would move down Division 2. And then in Division 2, those three teams would do pretty well. I believe in 2013, Dos Pueblos went to the quarterfinals and lost to Esperanza, and San Marcos went to the semifinals and lost to Esperanza, and Santa Barbara High went to the finals and lost to Esperanza. So Division 2 was the division where the schools from our town seemed to always compete the best in, and one of us would go rather far. But it was just this back and forth thing. We'd be in Division 1, and then we would all lose and not go too far. Division 2, we'd all do fairly well. One of us would go pretty far, if not both of us. So it was this back and forth thing every 2 years. And then I believe, yes, in 2016 or 17, they changed the way that they put you in divisions. And now it's more based on who you played in your regular season. I think 75% of it was that, and 25% was your previous 2 years in the playoffs. So when I heard that, and I didn't have a problem with people complaining and then pointing the finger at me that we were playing lower level teams like Division 2, 3, and 4 teams, which is what we had to do to get ourselves down. Because most of the preseason pre-league non-league games were against all these good programs in Division 1, and we hardly ever beat them, to be honest. We used to play Westlake, Newbury Park, Royal. which we're back playing Royal, but they're in Division 3 also. Who else did we play? We had a set of non-league matches which we just never won, and they were always like the upper echelon. And yes, it prepared us for our league, but I didn't see it paying as many dividends at the end of the season. Whereas if I just dropped those D1 teams and started playing 3 and 4 and 2 teams, now we're on the way to. And also it was the tournaments as well. So playing in the TOC, which we just played in this last weekend, which I said I hadn't played in since 2016, we played against, typically it was always Division 1 or 2 teams. And this weekend we played against the team that was ranked like number 19 in Division 1/2, which is now they've adjusted it a third way, and now they have 1/2 all jammed together. So basically there's just this super Division 1, and then the top 8 teams they'll chop off the top, and those will become the open division, which are the basic same 8 competitive, traditionally fantastic volleyball schools like Mater Dei, Corona Del Mar, Miracosta, Huntington Beach, and Santa Barbara was almost in there last year, but they were number 9 of 8. And so last year they did all that. They put the top 8 teams in the southern section in their own division, let them duke it out, and I believe Miracosta won for the 26th, 27th time. I don't know. I'm going to have to look that up at some point. And then Santa Barbara was the top contender in Division 1-2, and which is essentially Division 2. So what has really happened is they created the open division, which is the 8 best teams, which, granted, year in and year out, 6 of those teams are going to be the ones that are winning the title. The Loyolas, the Miracostas, Corona Del Mar. Anyways, so now the open division, the 8 teams are basically Division 1. The rest underneath, the 1-2s, are essentially the Division 1, and then Division 3 is kind of like Division 2. So regardless of the way they label it, I think, are in the division where we belong. And if we have a ton of volleyball interest and kids that play club, then our program can be really, really good. But this weekend, there's just so many emotions that I've been fluctuating through since Friday until this morning. And I know one thing is that I enjoy this. I love this. There's something about this sport that has ensnared my mind, where I will never be bored of going to the gym and trying to get better and trying to just do things over and over again and better. And I know as a coach I have so much more to learn, but I'm angry at myself because I'm not putting in the hours to get that improvement, so I can filter it down to my program. And here I am in my 8th season as a varsity head coach, and I feel like I kind of stalled out a few seasons ago. And we could blame my children and me having a life, but that's not an excuse, and it's not because I know a few coaches who coach club, coach high school, they're full-time teachers, they have 3 kids, and they're still all doing it and keeping it all together. So one emotion I've been dealing with is just a frustration and almost a disappointment and self-loathing in myself that the product I've put out is subpar, in my opinion. And I got a big dose of that this weekend when we were in the same gym with the number 3 ranked team in the southern section, the number 5 ranked team, the number 6, and the number 7th ranked team, also the number 18th and 19th. So there was 5 top 20 teams all in one gym. And granted, 2 of those teams are the 2 teams in our league, which are San Marcos and Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara being number 6, and San Marcos being 18, I believe, or 19. But the team that won it was the number 18th seed team, John Burroughs from Burbank. They came in and they beat the number 3 team, Corona Del Mar, and then in the finals they beat Miracosta, the number 5 or 6 ranked team. And that's just badass. And I wish I could have stayed and watched it, but there I went again, having a life and having children, and so I can't nerd out and watch volleyball all day, every day like I wish I could. But anyways, so I'm frustrated at myself that we just looked kind of amateur. But as I step back and as the reflection has come, it's nobody's fault but my own. And just my family situation just kind of has taken precedence the last, really the last year for sure, as I had my 3rd daughter, and it has become a different situation, and it's taken a lot more time to adjust to. But seeing 5 teams in the top 20, and my team felt like it was. And we are getting better, but we didn't look as crisp as the other team, and it was it reinvigorated my passion for the game, but also it has made me realize that we aren't doing enough. And in order to give me the feeling that I'm able to hold my own, we're able to hold our own, we have like a lot of work to do. And it's not work, but just we've got to pound the pavement a little bit more and spend more time in the gym and shore up some of these basics, which I've let fall to the wayside because I feel like I've let my program become just a seasonal situation, where the teams that I saw and the 2 teams in my league that we've played against, they're grinding around the year. They're playing club, they're playing sand, and they're better than us from a huge experience standpoint. And every time I think about this, though, I get even more frustrated because I want to say 4 of the last 5 times we've played San Marcos, we've had them in our crosshairs, but we just choked at the end. And so it's such a frustrating situation. Not when we played them on Tuesday. No, we got smoked for sure then. But it's not a great feeling. I gotta put some air in my tire. But man, the amount of good teams, even though there was only 10 teams total, and there's only it's not working? Shoots. Okay. Alright, what are we gonna do? We're gonna have to go find a different place. That shucks. That's sucky. That tire thing did not work. That's the problem with places that have free air. Thing breaks a lot. So what should we do? I've got a portable one in my car. I just haven't busted it out yet because this one's easier than busting it out of the box and figuring it out. So, let's see here. We can go to the one by my house and try and use that. But I digress. I'm also frustrated because I don't want to be a deadbeat dad, and I don't want to force my kids into coming along to the gym all the time, but also maybe that's what I should do. I want them to play volleyball. I want them to be in some type of sports. That's just not the situation we're in right now. And I just don't like this feeling of being subpar. But also, I have to be honest with myself, I've not done much to rectify that, really. And it's been a different couple of years with COVID and with me breaking my finger, and then girls' season being so successful. But also, I felt like we came up short with that group also, and we weren't doing as much. And by we, I mean me. And I've just got to, like, if I feel like something's not being addressed or done, like, I've got to freaking say something and try and do something to improve it. And so now I'm just trying to figure out how do I get all these reps, or get like some sort of situation where I can see my guys multiple times a week. Like, ideally it would be every day, but I don't think that's realistic at all. And summer is different. And then how do I have a job and do all this work also? I mean, granted, I don't like my job. I love my parents and I love my brother, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity they've given me, but it's just a job, and I want to do something in volleyball, and I don't know how to or what to do to make that a reality and pay for my house and my kids and spend time with them and sleep and better my program also. So that's the crossroads that I'm at right now, where I just want to, I'm not sure what, I think I came to a realization, or I think I figured one thing out, is that at least I can do something week by week, I think. And I think my goal would be to meet with my guys or give them a weekly update of my availability, what the gym availability is, and make that available for them. And I'm really thinking the ability to get all of them at one time is not very great, but if I can get myself into the gym and make it available for at some consistent times, then I can get a couple here and a couple there just to start with. And I know that I can, and I'm not, this is not like an open gym situation, which is not, it seems to be a little more like recreational, whereas I just want my guys in the gym without any distractions. Excuse me. So I think that's where I've got to really schedule out, really be upfront with my wife and my kids. And also I'm realizing that there's not much time. And so if there's something that you're into, make that part of your time. And then that is, I mean, if you have a family and kids, this is what I have to work. I want to see my wife and my kids, and then I want to do what I'm passionate about. And that sounds like it's leaving time for sleep, and that's about it. And I've been also just kicking around what the possibility is of working a lot at night and keeping my days open during the summer, which sounds crazy. It doesn't sound very doable, but I know the kids are going to be a lot more available during the day, and my children are more available during the day, and everyone's asleep at night, and so I'm not missing anything while my children and my players are sleeping. I could be doing work then, and a lot of this is, I'm really, it has to do with my children's sleep schedule, which before the pandemic, when I was running a ton, and by running a ton I mean I was utilizing the early mornings a lot. I would run, I was waking up at 2:45 sometimes and running, and it was working. It was working out a lot, but I also only had 2 kids then, and my second daughter wasn't a sleep snob like she is now. But I love you, Oak, but for whatever reason, you are more difficult to get to sleep than you used to be. But that's neither here nor there. Like, I understand, but I've got to chart out my situation in a different way, and just try. And also, it's like I've got to make playing for our program like something the kids want to do, something that's cool, and I've got to be more of a cheerleader, or just establish our program again. And I think I've let it fall to the wayside. So I have some work to do. I have some work to do. And I think I know it's gonna be hard, but I'm also just talking about it. It's kind of exciting for me. And I think what's nice is we did this fundraiser this year, which I almost pulled the plug on, and it raised a few dollars. So I think I have some money to start doing things for this program, and I think it's just gonna have to be like stupid stuff like warm-ups and flashy t-shirts and winter tryouts and fall tryouts. But I don't want to give up, because I know I'll regret that for sure. And I do really love it. And just being in the gym with those teams was so inspiring, yet reminded me how much sacrifice those kids and those teams have put together. And also, that doesn't happen overnight. And that if you're not good, that team's going to take advantage of you. And they can talk as much shit as they want, because they earned it, because they put in the man hours. And that's just a big shot of my ass, huh? Ay. $2 for it. But we needed it. Yep. Gotta pay $2 for it. And you know what? It'd be nice if I would if I could break down and find somebody to help me that was, a little more reliable, but it's not quite that way this year. And unfortunately, one of